How we doing out there, everyone? Doing good? Excited? You guys excited still? You still got some good energy going on? Friday, here we go, right? Is it Friday? I think so. The days are running together. Yeah, day 5, Friday. All right, guys. First off, just want to welcome you here into the VIP session before we bring up Miss Erica Dale, who is going to be talking about how to build your business incentive trip to incentive trip. And I'm going to tell you what, I am already ready with my pen and notes. I cannot wait to learn from this amazing leader. Um, and before we do, though, turn it over to her, we want to open it up for some takeaways, questions, anything around that recruiting script. You might have a few questions or you might have some takeaways. So, anybody got anything they wanted to share or ask? You could come off mute. We'll take a few people or raise your hand so I know who you are. Maybe it was just something that you're like, wow, this really spoke to me. Anybody? You guys all good? No. Okay, Priscilla.
Hey, how you doing? How's everyone doing?
Very good.
Good, good. I don't have a question. I did want to share that I found the recruiting information actually the whole week has been wonderful. So thank you all for all the time and all the effort and everything that you're sharing. I've been reminded actually of so many things, but the main thing about the recruiting, and I wrote it down where you talked about the scripts. It's not like you have to follow it word for word, but it gives you a great starting point. And I
Right.
think just something to help you stay on track. So,
Yeah,
what you said specifically was clear, confident starting point
it's
when reaching out to prospects. So, I just want to thank you for that. And thank you all for all that you've been sharing.
I love it. I'm glad you made that connection because it is true. You know, sometimes proven recruiting scripts can sound a little bit canned. And we can tweak a word or two to make it our own. I'll give you an example of things where you can tweak, but I'm going to also share something where you don't want to tweak. Okay. So let's say you're tweaking something. Okay. Maybe you're somebody maybe it's the first message you're going to send. Maybe you say, hey, Michelle. Maybe you use the word, hey, Michelle, because that's your style. That's who you are. That would be me. Okay. Versus maybe you're somebody that likes to say good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, Michelle. You know, who are you? How do you like to show up? Those are ways that you can tweak the word choices. Where you don't want to tweak the word choice is making the script general where you forgot to use Michelle's name. You don't want to do, sorry you guys, I don't know. I got all these emojis and everything else flying up, so just bear with me. Um anyway, you want to always be sure to use someone's first name. People love to hear their first names. They just love it. And people love to talk about themselves. All right. So that's a place where you could tweak. Here's somewhere where you can't tweak also at the call to action. Sometimes people get a little nervous still, like, I'm going to put it out there. You know what? That I don't know if they'll tell me if they're open. So I don't know if I want to write that little thing down there that says, are you open? Right? So they say something like, you know, or they don't use a call to action. And then they say to me, Joan, I don't know, I've sent this out. And then I say, reread me what you sent or send me a screenshot. This isn't about, you know, browbeating a team member or anything like that. It's about helping them create the safe space to really be able to help someone. Show me what you sent so I can see it and either help you improve or maybe identify what could be missing and we can tweak it together. Okay, that's a real coaching type of a way for your team member to feel I can go to Joan. Joan isn't going to make me feel like I'm dumb because I didn't get it right. Okay? And resist telling people exactly what to do, right? ask more questions. Okay, perfect. How about one more? One more. Thank you, Priscilla. I will appreciate that. Dawn, I think you look like you might be raising a hand over there. Come off mute. I'll ask you. There we go.
I just want to say what a blessing this has been in so many areas of my life, not just my marketing for my business, but I lead teens. I have a ministry for teen girls to know their true identity in Christ. I
Mm.
lead some teens in a recovery program. And this has just opened my eyes. God has definitely led me here because it's opened my eyes to good communication skills with anybody,
Yeah.
to get to know them and the drive, the personalities, the different personalities you'll talk to and how to talk to them. So this has just been an absolute blessing overall.
Oh, I
Thank you
love
so
that.
much.
And continue your ministry and bless you on that journey. Wow. Really,
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Thank
Um,
you.
you guys, the thing is that often when we get into challenges, free courses, webinars, any of these things, we get reminded of some of the things that we already know that we kind of forgot along the way. I want to share something else. Someone was talking about, or I think it was Megan actually, that said, yeah, I partnered with Joan for however long, and then she went and got a coach. You know, that's exactly what you need to do. And you need to encourage your team members to do that as well, because I mentioned in the chat that I am the mother's voice to my team. Does that make sense to you guys? People get used to hearing you talk, and quite honestly, I don't mean this mean, but sometimes they tune you out a little bit. And then they go listen to someone like Erica Dale, let's pretend it's one of my team members, and they go, "Oh my gosh, Erica said this thing." And then they repeat it, and I'm in my mind, I think, "Okay, we've been saying this thing over here." But guess what? They hear it differently from someone else, or someone else says it in a way that resonates with them. Don't be intimidated by this. Someone the other day told me, "Oh no, I don't let my team go get outside coaching," and I about died, because you're that's an insecurity on a leader's part, for one thing. And you guys can hear this. You're VIPs, right? Are you guys, you want the real raw truth? You're VIPs, you paid for it, right? That's an insecurity on the leader's part, that she's worried that that person's going to get more value from her or from them than her. And here's the deal. That isn't what we want to think as leaders. We want to think you need all the value you can get to continue to develop yourself. Amen or amen? Isn't that right? Okay. So, you guys, I want you just to really think about who you are and how you're showing up, and keeping in mind that we're all still learning. I mean, I have at 25 years around here, I have discomfort today, this morning. I don't even want to tell you. I was running, racing to this, and then I was like, did I print that out? It's a little bit of discomfort. It's normal, but I'm still here. I'm giving you guys my best. I'm in my coral. No, I don't dress like this every day, right? I don't even put makeup on every day. I even got my lashes going for you. No, the truth is, show up with your heart. Show up with your heart. All right, you guys, I am going to introduce Miss Erica Dale. I have to tell you, speaking of personal development, I have been so privileged to be a part of many, many different leadership groups. And where I met Erica actually was at a mastermind. We met at a mastermind, and her husband, Jesse, and they're a dynamic team. But you know how you just kind of are sitting at a table and you just attract to someone? Like, I'm like, I like that energy over there. Erica was that person. And as I introduced her, now see, I'm having a moment of discomfort. You guys ready? Because her nice bio was 9 pages under what I was doing. So I'm now going to read it. I found it. Thank God. Okay. Erica has been in network marketing since 2012 with her current company since 2015. She has created a sustainable six-figure income, which has given her the freedom to raise her son on her own terms. And you can see him right there. She's going to show him to you for a few. Her and her husband, Jesse, have a handful of other businesses, and thanks to their options in thanks to the options that network marketing has given them. She has a passion for helping people grow their network marketing business on social media, and Erica has earned, you guys ready for this? 18 incentive trips in her first 10 years of business with her current company, and she loves teaching others how to build their business trip to trip. So, Erica, welcome, welcome. Take it away, beauty.
All right, guys. Well, I have a neighbor coming to grab him. My sitter went to the ER, so it's just crazy, but that is mom life. And I just think like if I were in a normal 9 to 5 or corporate America, like they don't care. They don't care that your sitter called off, but you got to be there. And so I'm just so blessed and grateful for what we have. But this is Shiloh. He was not supposed to make an appearance today, but you know what? We just roll with the punches
Yeah.
in network marketing. So I'm super, super excited to share. I'm going to send a request so I can share some slides with you guys because I'm a visual learner. I always assume everyone is like me. And that is exactly what I want to teach you guys today is not just how to earn an incentive trip. That'll be put in here too. Drop in the comments drop a 1 if you've ever earned an incentive trip in your current company or in network marketing. This wasn't something that I really had my sights set on 10 years ago when I joined my company. I wasn't looking at earning trips. I wasn't looking at being a six-figure earner. I wasn't looking at leading teams. Like you guys, I just wanted to make $200 a month. That was my goal. It wasn't huge. And most people that you are talking to should be talking to, that is probably around the amount of money that they would tell you that they need. Maybe it's a little bit more now, right? Inflation, economy, probably like 500 to 1,000, but it's not astronomical. But what I learned in my first company or in this company, I had been in for 4 months. And my mentor called me and said, "You do realize you're just shy of this trip. Like you're just a few points away from this trip." And I was like, huh? Didn't even have it on my radar. I was just doing the behaviors that we should be doing to grow a business and it earned me a trip. But once I got a taste of that, I was like, I don't ever want to miss a trip again. Like it was incredible. And so I want to teach you not only how to earn the trips, but how to do it by the recruiting behaviors that you should be doing anyway, right? And tying in what you guys have been learning all week long, but also how earning trip to trip can take you through the ranks and take you to the top ranks of your company. So it says 9.5 years. It'll be 10 years next month, which is just incredible. And like Joan said, just 18 trips. It's incredible. My husband and I actually got married on one of our trips. You can see that in the picture. There's some fun stories behind this, and I'll tell you why you want to earn trips. There'll be a little bit of that alongside in this training. So why do they matter? I had a girl on my team and love her to death, but she said, "Well, I don't really need to earn trips because I'll just go on them. I'll just pay on them, pay for them myself." Like money wasn't the thing for her. And I said, "That's fantastic that you can afford to do these trips on your own, but who needs to see you earning them? Earning them, not paying for them." So that is what this really all about. And they help to create excitement. They help to create motivation in your team, but also for you. I love the way that most companies lay out their cadence so that you're constantly looking for the next thing and earning the next thing and growing to that next thing. And that's what incentive trips do for me. And my husband, we had been in the company for just about maybe a year or so, and he was like, "I don't think I knew this about you, but you are a carrot chaser." And I was like, "You know what? I am. Like, give me an incentive and I want to go for it. I have FOMO. I don't want to miss out." And so all of these things have helped me to grow not only my business, my personal development, but also to teach this into my teams. Incentive trips will strengthen relationships. They'll build team culture, and I mentioned FOMO. Like, imagine your best friends in your company earning this trip and you didn't go, and they're talking about the memories and the funny things that like the inside jokes, and you're like, man, I don't ever want to miss that. And that's kind of why I don't want to miss trips, because I don't want to ever walk away and be like, what'd you guys do? What'd you learn? What'd you talk about? It also provides opportunity for learning, for collaboration. You're going to be surrounded by people that maybe aren't just in your team, and you're going to learn from them. You're going to hear what they're doing, what's working, what's not. I will say that a lot of our other businesses that we have, like we have real estate investments, we have some other online opportunities, online things that we do. I don't know that we would have ever stepped into some of those things if it weren't for the collaboration that we've had on these incentive trips and hearing what other people are doing. And then it also just showcases what's possible. Again, it inspires people to take action. My company actually asked me to train on this exact topic from the main stage, my very first main stage speaking engagement. And I said, well, what do you want me to train on? And they said, building trip to trip. And I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer for me, right? That's what I should train on. So this is why they matter, you guys. So I'm going to take you through a journey on our talk today, and talk to you about some of the trips, but then I want to show you the numbers, because I didn't really ever put this together as I was building in my company. But this is our very first trip. You can tell that this is a picture of a picture, because this was in 2016. I don't have a digital copy of this photo, and it looks grainy and gross and all the fun things, but that doesn't matter. This was a Mediterranean cruise. I earned this after being in this company for 4 months. 4 months. So if you're on this call and you're brand new and you're like, well, we have a trip, my company just announced, but I'm brand new, I can't earn that. I want you to be inspired that it doesn't matter if you're day one or you're day 10 years like I am, you can go and make things happen. You guys can't even see me in this picture. I'm hidden in between the middle. The lime green shirt is my husband. I'm right below him in a hat. I just realized, like, where am I? I promise I'm in this picture. Here's how new I was to this company. And this is an awkward moment, right? But I will share awkwardness with you. We gathered as a group to take this welcome party photo. And I remember awkwardly yelling out, hey guys, there's some random person trying to get in this photo. It was our CEO. I didn't have a clue who our CEO was. And he was in the photo, but I was just so new to the company that I didn't know any of the faces yet. So at the point in my business of this trip, I was doing about 10,000 in volume a month. 10,000 in volume. So compare this to your company, compare this to where you're at in your business. Yes, Anne, I to this day that one cracks me up. How awkward, right? But 10,000 in volume, I was making about $1,500 a month. So I had exceeded the goals that I had set for myself 4 months ago, 4 months of getting started in this business. And how did I do it? By following the behaviors of network marketing. I recruited consultants, I recruited customers. I then probably then wasn't really helping my team a whole lot because I hadn't quite stepped into leadership, right? I was still new myself. I didn't even know the CEO. I didn't understand the comp plan. I didn't understand the ins and outs of my business because I focused on behavior. My husband would get frustrated with me. He's like, you can't even explain how you're making money. And I said, I don't care. I do the things, I make the money. I do the things, I make the money. I don't need to explain it right now. Now, eventually, as you grow in your business, yes, you should learn your comp plan and you should learn a little bit and always be a student. But right now, if you've got a goal in front of you, whether it's a rank or a number of enrollments or a trip, you need to put your head down and you need to do the behaviors that are going to get you to that goal. That's it. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is how to do this, right? So maybe you have a trip coming up. Drop a 2 in the comments if there is an incentive trip or a carrot, right? We're just going to call it all carrots because it might not be a trip. It might just be something else you want to earn in your business. But drop a 2 if there's a qualification period right now. In my business, we actually have until the end of the month to earn a trip, right? And I'm 23 points away. I've got some work to do. And then we have until the end of December to earn a huge trip. And so I'm like, okay, let's set some goals. Let's figure out what we need to do to get these things done. And here's what I believe. You need to go and do it yourself and then go help your team do it, right? It's kind of like the airplane analogy. When you get on an airplane, what do they say? If you need to use the oxygen masks, put yours on first before helping the next person. Because you can't help someone if you don't help yourself. If you go and do it, guess what? You can teach it. Now you know what to do. So here's some goals, some clear goals for you to set for your next incentive trip or your next big thing, your big carrot. You've got to know the qualification criteria and the deadlines. Like if you get to the end of the qualification criteria, the period of qualification, and you're like, I didn't qualify because I missed this one little thing. It's on you. You've got to have ownership. You've got to know what you're doing. Like you can't go anywhere in life without a roadmap, right? Yes, we all have GPS and it is a beautiful thing, but you still got to plug in the coordinates. You still got to know where you want to get to in order to get there. So know the qualification criteria. I always tell my team, like, if your company does this, go print it out. If it's on the website somewhere, go print it out. If they don't, guess what? Write it out. Do it yourself. Take ownership. But go print it out, read it, reread it, maybe do some highlighting, maybe do some circling, maybe like question things that you don't understand, and then go to a leader and have them break it down a little bit more for you. And then maybe ask that leader, will you help me roadmap this? I really want to qualify for this. And if that leader can't do it or won't do it, go find another leader. Work your way up leadership until you find the one that's going to grab your hand and work with you. So break down the requirements into monthly or weekly targets, right? This last trip, the one that's due at the end of September, was a 90-day qualifier. So I broke down my points needed over 30 every 30 days. And then I went in a little bit closer and said, okay, what are the weekly targets? So does it need to be exact? No, give yourself some wiggle room. But if you miss a target, now you're going to have to adjust. And that's okay, right? It's a target. It's not necessarily the end goal, but adjust as needed. Track your progress. I remember one goal I had, my office was, this is my bedroom. I blurred it out, even though it is very clean. But my office used to be in our sunroom, and I had a brick wall behind me. And I put sticky notes up of every time we got what we were after in our team. And we had like 300 that we needed to sell. And every time someone did it, I wrote their name on a sticky note and I stuck it up there behind me and I sent a picture into my team and I said, we got one more. We got 5 more. We got, congrats, Susie, you just did 3 more. And so it was a visual, not just for me, but for my team as well. And then again, visualize that success, stay committed. If you falter, if you fall back a little bit, life happens. Like guys, my kid was just sitting on my lap. Life happens to all of us every single day. You've got to just focus forward, push forward, and don't allow the hiccups or the roadblocks to keep you from that end goal. So building momentum between trips, right? Trip to trip, trip to trip, trip to trip. If you don't have trips, right? I'm not reading the comments right now because my brain was like a squirrel. But if you don't have trips, then maybe it's building event to event, right? It doesn't have to be the trips. You guys can fill in that word with whatever makes sense for you and your company, your team. But you do need to do these things. So you've got to keep excitement high. What I see a lot of times with challenges or incentives is excitement is high for like a day. Like that's all the excitement we can keep anymore. It's actually kind of strange to me. But especially these longer qualifiers, if you ever run into those, like this one, the big trip that we have until the end of the year, it's been since January. That's a year-long qualifier. That is long, and your steam runs out very easily. So what does that mean for you? Well, maybe you can do some mini challenges in between. Maybe you can run some mini incentives in your team. If you don't have a team yet and you're a team of one, talk to your leader. Maybe you can collaborate with them and brainstorm some things that you guys can do so that you can keep the excitement running every week or every month or whatever it might look like for you. Continue to share those past experiences. When I share things about trips that we've been on, I mean, you guys, people are like, wow, I've always wanted to go there. Or that sounds amazing, right? Share testimonials. And maybe it's not even yours, maybe it's someone else's. And then you can even do a call to action like, I will be on that next trip from my company. I come hell or high water, I'm going to be there, right? So share your excitement, share your passion, because people are attracted to that. Again, celebrate the small wins along the way, especially on those long qualifiers, you guys. You've got to figure out what motivates you step by step by step, or your team. And maybe it's just a little like, hey, when I hit this, I'm going to do this. And you've got something to look forward to. Or when I hit this, I'm going to do this. If you've got kids, bring them along with you, right? When mommy or daddy earns this, we're all going to go out for pizza on Friday night. Like whatever it is, you guys get your kids excited, because then when you are working a little bit extra, because you're probably going to have to earn something big, they're going to be okay with it, right? I'm not saying to sacrifice the special time with your children. That is important too. But bring them along. Maybe if you're doing the sticky visuals, like they get to put that up every time you get one. Bring them along for the journey. And then lastly, make sure you're staying consistent in those daily income producing activities. So I know we've talked about these this week. Income producing activities are exactly that, the activities that produce income. There's a lot of behavior in network marketing, a lot of activities that we need to do, but they're not necessarily the direct income generating. So figure out what your trip is, or your event is, or your goal is, and then decide, like, what are the income producing activities that I need to be doing? How many of them? When you know the goal and you know the criteria, like we talked about, you can reverse engineer it. You can literally break it down point by point by point and how you're going to go out and earn that. So the third incentive trip that we went on was in 2017, so a year later. So we'd earned three trips at this point, and it was to Kauai, Hawaii, where we decided to get married. So if you ever want to get married on an incentive trip, highly recommended. Highly recommended. Nothing like your company basically paying for you to get married. Our wedding in Hawaii cost me $1,000. That is it. And that was for them to do my hair and makeup, and for them to have the pastor that came out and did it, and to set up chairs on the beach. Like, it was incredible. So highly recommend that. And then we did it on the night before our welcome party. So guess what? The welcome party was our reception with all of our incredible business partners and corporate leaders, and it was just beautiful. At this point in my business, I was doing about 20,000 in volume a month. So we had doubled in a year, and we'd earn another trip somewhere in there, right? Did you guys catch that? This was the third trip. And we were doing about $3,500 paycheck a month. I still had a full-time job. I was still working 60 hours a week as a gym manager. So I'm telling you these things because they are doable no matter what you have going on in your life. It's just a matter of getting really, really committed and really saying, like, this is going to happen, and I'm going to make it happen no matter what. So using social proof, I know we had some great social media training this week. Use the social proof, you guys. People, like I said earlier, they're attracted to that. Do you think that people are traveling to Hawaii like all the time, or whatever incentive trip you have currently being dangled in front of you? Share photos, share videos, share testimonials from past trips. Show the lifestyle benefits beyond just the financial rewards. If you were on Wednesday with the Q&A, I said you've got to make it worthwhile for people to want to be a part of what you have going on. It's not always just about the money, although I think most people would say they could use extra money. But if extra money means a whole lot of work, I'm out. I'm not doing it. Because if I'm thinking in my head, I just need an extra $500 a month to cover the car payment, but now I've got to add an extra 30 hours a week, because that's what people think it takes to be even a little bit successful in network marketing. They're not going to do it. They are already to their eyeballs in busy, right? That's all people say. I'm busy, I'm tired, and I don't feel well. I'm busy, I'm tired, and I don't feel well. That's it all day long. So can you share with them the benefits that go beyond just the money? Talk to them about the culture. Talk to them about the friendships you've made. Talk to them about the growth you've made as a human being. If you have systems in place, and I hope that you do, talk to them about the plug and play systems that it doesn't create or doesn't take a lot of extra work. It does take effort. Absolutely. Invite others to join. If you have an incentive trip being dangled over your head right now and you haven't shared it, and you haven't said, you got to get started with me so that we can earn this together, you guys, you need to go back to your list right now and go tell them, I am earning this trip and I want to take you along with me. Do you want to do this together? And then again, use stories, use reels, showcase the excitement. This is so huge when it comes to growing your business trip to trip. So now you're going to qualify for this team, right? Or for this trip. You're going to lead by example, and you're going to qualify as early as you possibly can. Now, with the 90-day qualifier, you might not be qualifying like within 30 days, right? It's tough for a reason, but show them what's possible. Encourage and mentor your team members to then set their own goals and then provide support and training, because if you did it, you know how to do it, and therefore you can teach them what to do. Remember that. You can be a leader of one or a leader of a lot, but leading by example is the number one way that you're going to build that trust within your team, and they're going to say, tell me more. And if it's not you, or maybe you're like, I want to do this, but my leader's not doing it, go up the chain, go find the leaders, right? Like Joanne was saying, Joan was saying that she doesn't care if you learn from her, if you learn from Susie over here. Like, if you're learning, that is the most important thing. Go and learn from whoever speaks to you, whoever you're going to learn from. I remember in seventh grade basketball. Now, guys, I do not play basketball. I did not continue my basketball career. I was not very good, but I remember them trying to fix my shot, and I just wasn't doing it. I was a two-hand shooter all day long. Some of you are athletes and you are cringing right now. Like, they wanted me to have the form and the beef and all the things. I just wasn't getting it. And I had coach. And finally, for whatever reason, this coach got through to me. Don't know why. They did. Do you think those coaches that all were on the same page for the same goal were mad that I learned from this coach? Like, that's just silly. Now we can be better athletes and play better. It's the same thing here in network marketing. So provide support, training, accountability. Grab an accountability partner, you guys. And here's what I'll tell you with an accountability partner. If you show up to your accountability partner and you're like, man, I just blew it this week. This week has been crazy. I have not done anything toward this goal. I know I said I was going to have, I was going to do 3 a day press play. I was going to get 3 people to our overview. I haven't gotten anyone. And your accountability partner says, you know what, Priscilla, it's all right. Girl, yeah, I get it. I've been busy too. Fire her. Fire her. She's not holding you accountable. She's got to hold you to the fire that you said you wanted. So fire her and go find someone else. And then recognize and celebrate, you guys. We cannot recognize people enough in network marketing. Recognize them for the behaviors, recognize them for showing up for a call, recognize them for taking their product. Like, recognize people until you can't think of anything else to recognize them for, because that is why people will stick around. So make sure you're doing that. We've got 2 more trips to cover as we wrap up the rest of this. This was our 14th incentive trip, so we jumped quite a ways ahead, but this was actually just last year in Punta Cana. I was fairly pregnant in the photo. Did not have my baby on an incentive trip. That would be something I would not recommend, although a girlfriend of mine did. But at this point in my career, you guys, we're talking, let's see, I got started in 2015, so 9 years in. I was doing about 100,000 a month. I was making about 11,000 a month. So 6 figures at this point, not something I was after, but man, look at these pictures. Doing life with some of my best friends who have joined my company and just having a ball together on the company's dime. It's amazing. Yes, I did a foam party with a big pregnant belly, and it was so much fun. So here's your action plan. This is your roadmap to success. If you want to start earning these trips, or you want to continue earning these trips, I want you to define the goal and break it into actionable steps. Stay consistent with daily income producing activities. Motivate and support your team. Share your journey, inspire others, and keep the momentum going from one trip to the next, from one trip to the next. If you feel yourself like slowing down, go remind yourself of why you're doing it, right? Have the visuals, have the pictures. You guys, it's so important. And I will leave you with this. Our last trip, actually, we just did a cruise right after this. But our last trip was my 17th trip to South Africa. And I will tell you, I don't care if your company never schedules you a trip to South Africa. If you can do it, go. My hope is that baby Shiloh, will see these photos when he's bigger and say, Mommy, I want to go see the elephants because I want to go back. It was incredible. But at this point in our journey, we were, again, not even 10 years in the company. We're doing 200,000 a month, earning about $25,000 a month. And again, just experiencing life on an entire different level, something that we truly, truly couldn't even fathom. So as we wrap up, you guys, why do you want to earn your next trip? I want you to write these questions down or take a picture. You're not going to have time to really brainstorm this right now, but I would encourage you over the next day or two, answer these questions, answer them honestly, spend a little bit of time with them. But why do you want to earn your next incentive trip? What would it do for your business? You just saw the numbers as we've grown through the years and grown through earning all of these trips. Who needs to see you earn this trip? Maybe it's you. Maybe you need to build the belief, and that's how you're going to do it. For me, it was my husband because he did not believe in network marketing. In fact, the day I signed up for my current company, he said, go do your thing. That's what he said to me. He supported me. He didn't support this industry. But when we went on that Mediterranean cruise just 4 months in, you want to said what he said at the final dinner? I can't wait to go home and call my buddy Matthew, who's a millionaire in an asphalt company, who has a more negative belief about network marketing than my husband. And I can't wait to tell him how legit this is. So that's who needed to see it in my life. Maybe it's a husband, maybe it's a kid, maybe it's I don't know. You have to answer that. How are you going to do it? And then who benefits when you earn it? Is it you? Is it your family? Is it your bank account? Is it your teammates? Like, I don't know. But you've got to make that decision. And here's what I'll tell you about making decisions. You don't decide until you actually act. You can decide with your mouth all day long, you guys, but until that action starts happening, there has not been a decision made. So I want you to decide that you will be on that next trip, that next event, that next whatever carrot is being dangled to you, and then take the action to make it happen. All right. So I think we have, Megan, we have a couple minutes for question. Joan, do we have a
Yeah.
couple minutes for question?
Yeah. Gosh, you guys, first, let's give it up for Erica. This was an amazing training, Erica. I loved it. Um, you guys, I have to say one thing before we open it up for questions. There was a point in my like couple years in where I missed an opportunity. Really, I just was a little afraid to ask someone if they thought about doing what I was doing. And as it turns out, this woman she was a vice president at a bank. She had 9 children. It didn't seem to me that, I thought, how would she ever have time? See, that's me judging her, right? And as it turned out, she had a special needs child. She needed an extra amount of money to pay for the medicine. And secretly, in the back of her mind, she wanted to travel. She wanted to be able for her and her husband to be on trips, and they just couldn't find that extra, you know, income. So, Erica, it just reminded me that often people will join network marketing businesses for all kinds of reasons, but one of those is travel. Like they want to be on these incentive trips, and most of your companies have these. And my question would be, are you talking about them? Whether you've been on them or not, it doesn't matter because you're always going to have the opportunity to go again. Anyway, Erica, wonderful job. I loved it, but I am going to turn it back over to you and you can answer specific questions. So thank you
Awesome.
so much.
You're welcome. And I think that's why I love Woody's presentation too, you guys, because you do have to talk to people in where they're at, meet them where they're at. And if you're not asking those questions, you're not going to learn what would actually entice them to say yes to getting started with you.
I love it.
So yeah, if you guys have questions, you can throw them in the chat or unmute if that's allowed, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. Who's got questions, comments? Pop it in the chat or you can raise your hand. We've got a few minutes here with Erica still. I see, I didn't even notice that little babe was gone. And then I went, wow, she's slick, that Erica. She just must have did a quick little,
My little neighbor girl just snuck in my bedroom and took him out.
isn't that sweet? No.
Hey, I think that's where it takes a village, right? Like I'm only 16 months into this motherhood thing, but whoo, it takes a
Yeah,
village, y'all.
it does. It's a lot, isn't it? All right. Who's got some questions, comments? Maybe it's something you learned today. Maybe you got a little bit more clear on why you're doing your business and how you can also make goals going from trip to trip. Anybody got something here for Erica? I know people get a little shy, they get a little nervous to ask, but
I will say, you guys, my Facebook is just Erica Dale with a K. My inbox is open. It doesn't matter what
awesome.
company you're in. Like that's just how we all raise up in this industry. So if you come up with a question down the road,
Awesome. Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to turn it back over to Megan, but let's give Erica a big hand. Thank you, Erica. Oh, wait, wait,
oh,
wait.
we got one.
There we go. There we go. And then it looks like Laura. Oh, no. Go ahead, Erica.
Oh, what is the one thing that took you from this is awesome to I can do it? Tina, honestly, I think it was more of just like I didn't realize I was already doing it. And then I earned that trip. And once I got a taste of it, there was no looking back. I will tell you guys, I've missed one incentive trip in 10 years. And I don't know what was going on in my world, but I remember missing it and being like, no, we're not doing that again. So again, give yourself grace, right? Pick yourself up and move on to the next one.
Erica, wouldn't it be fair to say too? I mean, again, an incentive trip or claiming any kind of goal makes anybody nervous again. Guys, we're talking about those nerves again, that fear that comes in because you start going like, well, what if I don't make it?
Yeah.
What if I don't talk to enough people? What if I don't? But here's what I want to say. What if you do? How about if
Mm,
you claim it and not worry so much about the how when you claim it and you begin visualizing it and you get with your upline, your coach, whoever it is you're working with, and you say, I have this goal. Will you help me with a strategy to get there?
I love that.
I mean, Erica, you help people all the time get on these trips. We just saw them in the suds and all that, right?
Yep.
I was like, I want to be there.
That's fun.
All right. Awesome. Anyone else? Okay. Well, Erica, thank you so much again. Again, you can find Erica Dale, you guys, friend her. Get cozy with her. She's a wealth of knowledge. And Megan, we're going to turn it back over to you.
Awesome. I love it. Well, I know that we're talking a lot about consistency. I'm just going to actually go ahead and drop just for like our VAPs right now, our daily checklist because we have so much time this weekend too. If you guys want additional steps, I think that's some great material to go through. Now, in our academy, we have a much more updated, very step by step, but this one is a really good start with some actionable things. So if you would like to, get that. I'll drop it below. It's the 1 hour workday checklist. Because Erica was talking so much about like the daily actions to start getting on it with qualifying for the trips. It's got basically the daily things that you should do every day to be qualifying for trips, earning the paycheck, helping your team members, all the things. So it's 1 hour workdaychecklist.com. Is that the right link? Um, hold on. I spelled it wrong. 1 hour
Yeah.
workday checklist.
Okay, good. I was gonna say,
And that second link right there, you guys, you can grab that on the back end too. There's also a copy of my 1 hour workday ebook. But that is a little for those of you who are like, I want a little extra homework, start getting to some DMO activity, that you can do this weekend as well. So you can grab again that second link because some of you were asking about some of the DMOs. Priscilla's shaking her head like, yeah, I like homework for this weekend. She's all about it. I love it. All right. Well, I think that's it. We will see.
oh,
I'm like, oh, we're gonna have 2 days off. I'm kind of sad.
oh, yeah. Well, hey, before we wrap up, you guys, I'd love to give you a little tip that really has worked for me over the years. You know, some of us can make a big goal, like to go on a trip. Maybe it's an 8-month goal. Maybe you've got a goal of financially being somewhere in 6 months, 8 months, a year. But, for me, I remember again, when I started in this business, I was like, I just would kind of like a small goal that I can achieve and feel good about. So to this day, I always make it a practice every Sunday to spend about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. I like the time with a cup of coffee. And I plan out my week. In other words, I'm going to make sure I share this with you guys. I plan out what I want to do. Like if I want to go get my nails done, if I want to go work out at my gym, everything I like to just schedule it because I don't want to miss the things that are most important to me. I watch my grandkids 3 days a week. I love that time. I don't want to miss the things I want to do. And then I begin filling in the things, and I'm not going to say have to do. They're not have to do's. They're non-negotiables for me, but I get to do them. I get to, right? So I also put the things, I'm just telling you my tips here. I also put the things that I don't love to do as much first thing in the morning. Now, I'm not talking about not like posting that kind of, that isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there could be like maybe, I've got to clean out my emails or something. That isn't necessarily a business related activity, right? It's not a money making activity, but maybe once a week on a Thursday, I've got down clean out emails at like, 6 a.m. or something, and I allow 15 minutes or whatever. So I want you just to think about, how are you laying out your schedule? Are you a person that never gets to do what you want to do? Like some of us can fall into that victim mode. Well, I'm cooking for the kids. I got my full-time other job. I got to do this. I got to, right? And life's no fun for you. Or are you somebody that's like, wow, I have the discipline through my calendar to do whatever I want, whenever I want, whatever I want, whenever I want. And then the calendar discipline allows me to accomplish the things that are also most important to my personal life and my business life. Okay. But I just do it a week at a time. Now, granted, there might be something I'm doing in a month from now that's on my calendar, but I'm just looking at this next week. And sometimes I'll even put little mini gifts to myself. Isn't that funny? Like I'll say, well, if you do this, this, and this, you can get a pedicure. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm getting the freaking pedicure no matter what anyway. But I play a game with myself because I know how I am. I want to feel good. So I do things, tasks that make me feel good. And I'm going to give you one more thing before we sign off, right? Write this down. Fall in love with the things that make you money. Fall in love with the tasks or activities that make you money. And at the end of the day, when we share a product and we convert it to a sale, when we share our business and that converts to a new team member, certainly you're benefiting, but so are they. They're getting, for me, if somebody wouldn't have invited me, I don't even know where my life would have went. That person got maybe the initial, like, wow, Joan joined, I got 20 bucks, what, I don't even know what it was, but I got the gift of a lifetime. And it brings, it really brings a lot of emotion up in me. Okay. Same thing with the product. Someone shares their product that solves a problem for me. I get the gift of solving my problem. So I'm trying to show you that there's two ways, there's two things that are happening here, right? All right, you guys. We will be live again in the Facebook group. I will also be sure to probably be walking at some point this weekend. We'll see. I know I'll be walking, but we'll see if I'm going live. And I probably will. I can't resist it. I like it. Anyway, I want to wish you guys all a beautiful rest of your Friday. I want to thank Erica Dale one more time, and we love you, and we hope to see you on our calendars. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.